Welcome to Konoha Crush, a clandestine effort to exhaustively research and document events occurring in and around the village hidden in the leaves. I'm Ruby.
I'm Gwen. Hi.
Hi, hey, how's it been, Gwen? I watched 3 episodes of Naruto this last week, but before we get into that, did you do anything else?
I've been drawing so much.
Yeah, you got that art fight going on?
Yeah, I got that art fight going on.
I've been seeing you draw a lot.
Mm-hmm.
On that Twitch and occasionally in private, as is my right as your podcast co-host and other things.
Yeah, other things. Okay.
But that's been eating up a lot of your focus this last week.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Pretty much.
I'm trying to think if I've been up to anything really, and I don't know. It's been a weird week, I guess. I feel like I haven't really done shit, which is probably fine. I read a little bit more of Berserk. You know, that's still a great comic.
Yeah.
It's cool to be at a part of the comic where the stakes are oh shit, Guts is going to a party uninvited to get his friend back, which is because it speaks to a real range that the comic has and the real distance that it's come since its earlier parts, where Guts is going around doing war shit or wandering alone and fighting monsters and being miserable. It's cool. I love where that comic is now. I love all the friends. I love how much it's a comic about Guts having friends. He's got his kids that he's looking after. He's got a collection of other people following after him. It's great. I love Guts from Berserk.
I love Guts so much.
He's so good. He's just a wonderful guy.
I love how much Berserk is a comic about Guts getting better.
Yeah. I'm just celebrating for him all the way. It's great. I mean, he's not necessarily doing great all the time, but every little victory he gets, every little moment with people he cares about, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I feel like I'm just kind of saying very standard things about Berserk, right? Because I didn't actually read a ton of it, so I don't have a very here's a section I read and here's my really defined feelings on it, right? I read I read a lot of it nearly 3 weeks ago now, during a time where we were off a week from recording the podcast, and the fact that I got to a point in Berserk where it was that readable, where I could read I don't know 80 chapters or something in a week, as opposed to the 20 to 30 I usually pull off, definitely speaks to oh yeah, this is a different comic, different priorities, and it's very exciting to read in a different way. But again, I feel I'm kind of at a loss for words to really give a super in-depth Berserk update other than hey,
it's a good comic.
It's a good comic.
Yeah, good comic. Well, I mean, if we don't have all that much to say right now, do we want to just go ahead and get to the episodes?
I can go ahead and get to the episodes.
Okay. Episode 27. A mistake from the past. A face revealed. Tamari tells Kankuro to take Gaara and run on ahead. She throws some wind sides at Sasuke and he returns with some fire-style shit, but she blows it away without a problem. He jumps back to make some ground and slips on the sand she spread on the tree branches earlier. He catches her with a substitution jutsu with a paper bomb stuck to the log. Sasuke runs to catch up with the other two as Tamari is on the ground, catching her breath after being caught in the explosion. Hiruzen and Enma are still upset at Orochimaru for the body swap thing, and he recalls the moment he learned why Orochimaru wants to be immortal and stuff. Hiruzen finally realizes why Orochimaru has been going after Sasuke.
Right. So, for the most part, this episode is about, the continuation of Hiruzen and Orochimaru's fight. But, before we get into that, we've got, a bunch of anime original stuff in the forest. We start off with, a little bit of a comedy interlude with Sakura and Naruto and Pakun, where, Pakun is just, interrupting their pursuit to be hey, I smell something familiar. I smell, the shampoo that I use. And Sakura is, in despair about the fact that she uses the same shampoo as the dog. Which, frankly, Sakura, Pakun is basically a person. So, it's fine. He just picked the same shampoo as you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah,
Don't make a big deal out of this.
Yeah, don't worry about it. You don't smell like a dog.
If a dog thinks it smells good, maybe that's just good taste, right? He's got a sensitive nose. He's very discerning.
Yeah.
But I think the real highlight of this little joke scene is the bit where Sakura is just doing her oh, I'm so sad about it, this despairful hopping through the branches Naruto style, but she's this wobbly grayscale version of herself.
The sad hops are the best part. That is correct.
Anyway, the other big anime edition here is so Sasuke catches up to Kankuro and Tamari, and Tamari's hey, all right, I'm gonna stall out Sasuke here. I'm gonna fight Sasuke. I need some more time in the spotlight because Shikamaru fight didn't really do anything for me.
There's something in this fight that I know it, like, it doesn't matter, but it's getting to me a lot.
Alright, well, what is it? Like, why don't you tell me?
She, like, cuts a whole fucking tree in half.
Oh, yeah, there's also something I was thinking about. Like, first of all, I think it's very fun that she's kind of, like, slicing the background paintings up, and they're just sort of, like, floating off on their, like, separate layer. I think it's, like, a funny way for her powers to be displayed, but it's also, like, hey, were you, like, holding back against Shikamaru? It seems like you probably should have been able to, like, hide behind trees if you could do this shit.
Yeah.
Like, maybe she was. There's definitely, like, it's some sort of attempt at, like, giving Tamari, like, a little bit more of, like, something to do in this arc, especially because, like, just going by the stuff that originates from the manga, she has, like, fucking nothing else from here on.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, you know, there's like, some fun stuff in there. Like, we get a little bit more of, like, Tamari as, like, you know, she's got, like trying to establish Tamari as, like, you know, somebody who's, like, making plans and stuff. Like, she has a sort of, like, similar moment to Shikamaru where she's like, okay, you know, I'm probably not going to be able to, like, beat Sasuke here, but, like, it's important that I, like, try to, like, bait him out and, like, make him use as much chakra as possible, and she's just, like, thinking through all this shit as much as she can. She has, like, a few, like, tricks she does against Sasuke to, like, try and, like, you know, stall him out and, like, hold him back for a little bit longer. I think it's very funny that, like, while she has this whole inner monologue, Sasuke's entire, like, thought process about this fight is just like, should I kill her in one hit or no?
Yeah, should I use my big attack and waste a lot of chakra? Probably shouldn't.
Probably should, but I could kill her in one hit, and that would be cool, but I probably shouldn't.
Yeah, right. It's risky because, like, you don't want to keep fighting until you realize, oh, I have to do the big attack.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you wasted a bunch of chakra before the big attack. This is classic, like, chakra economy of a ninja fight.
Yeah, but it's okay. Sasuke, basically just focuses on using his fireballs, which he can do, like, a nebulous infinite amount of times.
Mm-hmm.
You know, places, like, a ring of fire around Tamari to, like, trap her in place, which seems like a pretty, iffy proposition in terms of how fights actually go and how, like, everybody in Naruto is able to move, but, like, you know.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I played Breath of the Wild.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking updraft.
Yeah. She just
Tamari just gets out of there.
She hasn't played Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, it probably didn't come out yet in, what was it, 2002?
Yeah, no, it had not come out yet. I could, like, check Wikipedia to be sure, but, like, I don't think I need to. You know, it just kind of, like, winds up resolving itself pretty quickly with, you know, Sasuke, like, substitutes out and, like, has a paper bomb because ultimately, like, you know, there's an attempt to give Tamari a little bit more to do, and it's not a lot, but, like, you know, ultimately it can't affect anything because it's, like, you know, the way that this arc is going to go is, like, pretty predetermined. There's not, like, a rando that Tamari can fight and beat here, so she just has to, like, do an okay job of delaying Sasuke for a little bit.
Yeah, she has to get a little bit more tuckered out than maybe she was at this point in the manga.
Uh-huh. But yeah, from there we get back to, like, the main focus of the episode, which is, you know, getting a little bit more about, like, the Third Hokage and Orochimaru and, like, their past.
Yeah.
Hiruzen is, like, talking to Orochimaru, like, you know, you could have been the Hokage, but you were just, like, too much of a fucking twisted sicko. You know, we get, like, a flashback to Hiruzen, like, coming across Orochimaru's, like, terrible human experiments room. But, like, this is, like, a weird beat, kind of, because, like, in the anime, it's, like, played down so much, where you don't really get, like, a clear picture of what Orochimaru is doing in here at all.
Yeah, it really just looks like Orochimaru was hanging out in the sewer.
Yeah, like in the manga, there's, like, people hanging from the walls, so they're, like, all cut open and shit, and he's, like, actively dissecting a corpse. But, like, I don't know, he's got, like, some jars full of weird shit, but, like, that could be anything. He could be, like, pickling something. And, like, he's got some lockers or something. And he's, like, standing in front of, like, I don't even know. Like, there's, like, a metal structure erected around whatever he's working on so that the camera doesn't have to see it.
Yeah.
But it's still, like, panning over it, like, we're seeing a bunch of shocking shit. And, I mean, you know, even though without the sight of all the corpses, we get, like, a pretty clear picture of what's going on. Because, like, here's talking about, like, yeah, you know, there's been all of these disappearances in the village, you know, from, like, Genin to Chunin and even Anbu Black Ops members, which is, like, yeah, of course, easiest thing in the world.
You could put a fucking piece of cheese under a box with a stick on it and catch some Anbu.
It's nothing. The thing I really love about this flashback is the way that Orochimaru is just so, like, shucks about it, you know? He's like, I guess you found me. There's a line in this where it's like, you know, there's no point in acting cute now, but, like, you know, he is still acting cute. He doesn't know how to stop. He can't turn that off.
He's so good. Yeah, they show up and they're like, haha, we caught you. And he's like, thanks, guys. I didn't even have to kidnap you.
He was like, I set up all those like booby traps and everything, and you still showed up. Aw, I mean, I was kind of hoping you'd stay away, but like, I guess that now you're here. This is just what we gotta do. Okay. It's amazing how nonplussed he is about the whole situation of having his like fucked up human experiments room discovered.
Well, I don't think Orochimaru knows how to be like...
Like, he's obviously a lot scared about the situation, and he doesn't really seem like he feels bad about it, so I guess, like, just being super casual is what's left to him.
Yeah.
But anyway, Orochimaru is, like, explaining, how he wants to live forever and, master every jutsu and, he just understand all of the truths of the world by, like, learning everything that he possibly can about ninjutsu, right?
Yeah.
And, like, as somebody who is obviously going to live forever, so I can, like, read every comic and book and visual novel and, like, watch every anime and play every game I want to play, I understand. I relate to this. I don't think I'll, like, chop anybody up about it, but, like, hey, man, I get it.
Yeah, and I'm going to live forever so you're not lonely.
Yeah, oh my god, that's so sweet.
So, like, the implication with Sasuke being Orochimaru's target is that Orochimaru really wants the Sharingan?
Yeah, I mean, it seems like a pretty, like, good thing to have because, like, Kakashi's been around for, like, 20-some years, and he's got, like, 1,000 jutsu or whatever already, just by, like, looking at shit. So that seems like a pretty good thing if you're the guy who wants to learn every jutsu.
And like, I just think it's fun how, like, Orochimaru's whole deal, and then also the thing that the Sharingan does is, like, it's just, like, a really well put together, like, power for one of the main boys / villain motivation.
Mm-hmm.
In a way that, like, obviously they were made to complement each other, but, like, I don't know, it feels really, it feels really natural in this.
Yeah, for sure.
In a way that I want to give it, like, a little bit of credit.
I guess, like, getting way ahead of ourselves. I think it's also, like, kind of fun in retrospect that, we have the third Hokage here being, like, so aghast at the lengths that, like, Orochimaru is going to go to like, get the Sharingan, when, like, way later in Naruto, we learned that there's, like, a guy who was, like, his old friend, who, like, also went to horrific lengths to get, like, the Sharingan, but, like, is still just working in the village normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but, like, we can't talk about that yet.
We can't talk about that, like, in like, a ton of depth, but, I think it's kind of interesting. It's kind of, like, an interesting parallel that winds up being constructed deliberately or otherwise.
Yeah. Okay, are you ready to...
I'm ready to move on, yeah.
Okay. Orochimaru puts his old face back on, and the first Hokage fills the barrier with a perfect barrier-shaped cube of twisted tree matter. Inside, Enma made a monkey staff cage to protect Hiruzen, and Hiruzen regrets his decision years ago to spare Orochimaru's life. Hiruzen conjures shadow clones and gets put in a big dark genjutsu. He thinks about all the people in the village, and finally resolves himself to perform the Reaper Death Seal.
I really have to say, just completely filling the big, like, cube barrier made with, like, deadly tree matter is a strong move.
Yeah, it's so good. It looks really cool, too.
Yeah. I just love the idea of, like, I'm creating, like, a fight prison for us, and I'm gonna, like, make the whole thing bad for you to be in. I'm fine. But, like, we get all that, like, the previous episode also, right? Where, like, the second Hokage, like, floods it, and Orochimaru's just, like, standing in, like, a dry cylinder of the with a flooded cube. It's great.
It's amazing. I don't think he uses it at all, but, like, a big thing that we've seen Orochimaru do up to this point is just, like, melt into trees.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like, the actual, like, hand-to-hand portion of the fight is, like, basically over. So, like, he doesn't really need to. But, like, if he wanted to, like, go all out, he could go fucking wild on this shit.
I mean, if he wanted to, he could just, like, melt into a tree, not be around, and then just wait for that old fucker to age to death.
Right, like he sees that Hiruzen's gonna cast his, like, super ultimate jutsu, and he's like, okay, I'm just gonna get in a tree, I'm gonna chill out, I'm gonna wait for the timer on that one to run down. I'll see you later.
That would be so good! But I don't think Orochimaru knows exactly how that one works, so...
Yeah, I mean, it puts a very explicit point on that he doesn't really know how it works. That's, like, next episode. Focusing back on this episode, as Hiruzen is, like, preparing to, like, use his, like, new secret jutsu, the Reaper Death Seal, he's, like, thinking back to, like, his past with Orochimaru. And there's a bit where he's talking about how, like, he knew that there was, like, there was like some potential for bad in Orochimaru. You know, he knew that there was like some kind of like twisted ambition in him. He saw like something bad could happen there, but he just decided to like let it be. And because Orochimaru was a genius, and he was like hoping that like cultivating that talent would like avoid there being any problems. And the way he frames this is very much like the thing he is presenting as like the thing he didn't do back then seems very much like, I didn't like cut things off before they could have become a problem, and not like, oh, I didn't talk to this clearly troubled kid. Like, it doesn't really seem like it's on his mind that he should have like maybe talked to like the kid who's like, this guy seems like he might do some sicko shit, but I'm just gonna hope it's not a problem, because like that seems useful.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't try and solve everybody's trauma, or else nobody's gonna be a child soldier for you.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, it really does kind of seem like
you want your kids to be at least like a little bit of a sicko.
Yeah, right? He's just kind of like, yeah, okay, I don't want to like make him not be a sicko. I'm just gonna like hope it's within acceptable boundaries. And like at no point is it like, shit, I should have talked to him. It's just like, I should have stopped this. I had multiple opportunities to kill him, but I just didn't. Like, speaking of other opportunities to kill him, we get more of the flashback with Hiruzen and Orochimaru, and like Orochimaru's like fucked up human research lab.
Yeah.
Orochimaru just basically explodes everybody else in the room, and like just fucking walks out, and like Hiruzen's just fucking standing there.
Yeah, right, like, the way the dialogue is, it makes it sound like Hiruzen had a fucking, like, knife to his throat and just, like, decided to back off, but, like, at no point does it depict Orochimaru, like, being had.
Yeah, like, in the manga, it's, like, in this scene, like, Hiruzen is, like, knocked on his ass a little bit, and he's, like, bleeding out of his mouth. But, like, in the anime, it, like, super plays with the fact that, like, Hiruzen was just, like, it seemed like he kind of, like, brought some guys with him to do his dirty work, and then when they, like, exploded into blood, he just sort of, like, stood there. Which, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not really getting on that you should have killed your son train, but, like, I feel like if he was going to try, he really should have committed a little bit more, and I think Enma's right to be kind of pissed at him.
Yeah. But then he, like, does the shadow clones, and then is it the first Hokage that puts him in the Genjutsu?
Oh god, I don't remember which. I think it's the second, but I could be wrong.
It doesn't matter at all.
It doesn't really matter at all. If we need to know the difference between their techniques, that'll come up way later.
Yeah, but like they put him in a Genjutsu that basically makes it so he can't fucking see anything. And he starts getting the like shit beat out of him in the dark as he's like remembering all the characters in Naruto that we know.
Right, and like some we haven't met yet. I was like surprised how much this puts on the table in terms of like, hey, here's like guys that are going to show up. You know, we see, obviously we see like the first and second Hokage and like training Hiruzen, and like the two people like, that are under his team that are the two people that were on his team that are now just like sitting in like the Hidden Leaf Council room all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we see like Hiruzen training the Sannin. We see like Jiraiya training the fourth Hokage, and like two complete randos. Like the only guys in the scene who just aren't anybody.
Oh man, the fourth Hokage is like squad mates could have been characters. That would have been cool for those guys to be around.
Like, I guess it kind of makes sense that they aren't like you know, that guy's bros being around seems like it probably would have made Naruto's childhood like better on average.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. What if there were like, okay, what if one of them was a girl and so got written out of the story, and the other one was like a Sasuke, so like he's like off being bad somewhere?
Okay, yeah,
right.
I could have been something, but like it is just very striking how much like there's all these guys we know, and there's like these two guys that just aren't fucking anybody. We also have like a really fucked up looking Obito, as like we see Minato training, or we see Minato with like the team that he trains. Yeah, Kakashi and like Rin and like the fourth Hokage are like still a little ways off from making their first like real appearance there, but like they're pretty much how we recognize them. And Obito just like he just looks fucked. I can't put my finger on it, but that's not the fucking guy I know.
That's just not quite him.
That's just not him.
Like, he's almost there, but, like, the colors are wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I guess there hasn't really been, like, an official, like, color source for him, probably, is the main thing, so they're just kind of guessing.
Yeah, they just gave him, like, the default background ninja palette.
Yeah. They just didn't think this was going to be a real guy. Like, fucking Minato's bros aren't, so...
Just, like, go back and, like, recolor that one shot.
Yeah, that's... we'll do that for the new Ultimate release of Naruto.
Uh-huh.
You know, while this, like, montage is happening, the Third Hokage has this whole, like, monologue about how everybody, I guess not even just like a monologue, like he's also talking to Orochimaru, right, about how like everybody in the village is his family, and the village will like stand like beyond him because it's like all these people that are connected that he cares about deeply. And like I'm kind of torn about this because like I do think like, you know, on some level the scene works, right? Like it's kind of cool where he's just like floundering around in the dark and getting the shit kicked out of him.
Mm-hmm.
And like trying to like give his like speech about like how he cares about everybody in the village. Like I think like as a character he like genuinely believes this, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not just like fucking saying some shit to make himself feel better. He like genuinely like thinks he cares about people, and it's just like when you're the fucking president of the child soldier factory, that only goes so far.
It doesn't go very far.
It doesn't go very far.
President of the child soldier factory, whose like only gay son is here trying to kill you because you were a huge asshole to him his whole life.
Yeah.
It doesn't go super far. Here is it.
Like, you know, there's... he has perhaps cleared the bar set by like some of the other people and some of the other places in this world. But like, again, none of those bars go very high. Like, you know, a village full of people or his family are still like a village full of people who's gonna like go into a room and give like an inspiring speech about how they need to be like ready to die in like a fake bullshit war to maintain peace or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like in this fucking arc, like a month ago, he's still the same person who was like, you know, going out and like building up that investment and like being willing to die for the country as like 12-year-olds, which I don't think makes him like uniquely awful or anything, but I do think it makes him like kind of like fucked up and fallible in like a way that like adds texture to the scene in a way I think is worth thinking about. Yeah,
totally. Yeah, like it is kind of just like the space that everybody in the show exists in.
Yeah, for sure.
Is that everything we wanted to say about this part?
I think so, yeah. Are we ready to move on to the next episode?
Yeah, let's move on to the next episode. Episode 73, Forbidden Secret Technique, Reaper Death Seal. The clones each latch onto and seal one of the undead Hokage. Their bodies turn to ash, revealing the sacrificed corpses of Zaku and Keen. Hiruzen rushes Orochimaru with the staff and latches onto him. The Shinigami grabs Orochimaru's soul and begins to tug as Orochimaru has the grass sword levitate and stab Hiruzen through the back. In the village, Ibiki and his guys are trying to take care of the huge snakes when Jiraiya shows up on the back of a giant toad.
So Hiruzen is still in the fucking void, right? He's still been sent into the dark. He's like preparing to like pull out the souls of the first and second Hokage. There's like this like fucked up like reversed voice chanting in the background. It's a whole big thing. He's like talking to Orochimaru about how he's got like this new secret jutsu that even Orochimaru doesn't know about. Like Orochimaru is just like, oh yeah, really? Fucking better hit me with it, man. Better fucking kill me one shot. Which is like amazing. But also like, man, you kind of set yourself up a little bit here. I don't know. This is the thing you say in a fight. You're fucking up here. Like I do like as like part of the build-up, like him doing the Reaper Death Seal on the first and second Hokage is like him just fucking like barely holding together and getting like the shit kicked out of him, right? Like he like grabs onto one of them and like the Shadow Clone does, it gets like stabbed like straight through a bunch of times. And because it's like all in the void, it can like he gets to still have that be the thing happen, but like still like, you know, kind of play coy about it to like allow it to be on like a show airing in Naruto's time slot.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And I like how the undead Hokage are like, once they're caught, they're just like, sorry, man.
Yeah.
We've made this really hard for you, huh? And so like they turn to ash, and we see that the bodies that were used were those of Zaku and Keen. Rest in peace.
Yeah, F's in the chat.
They're with Dosu now.
Yeah. Who is it going to use for the fourth Hokage? Because it couldn't be Dosu.
Yeah, it couldn't be Dosu.
I guess it could just be basically fucking anybody.
Yeah, I mean, like, we saw a bunch of fucking, like, faceless, nameless fucking Sound Village goons.
Mm-hmm. I guess it's not really that big of a question. He's got, like, so many fucking guys here.
I have a question.
Yeah?
While we're on the subject of, like, forbidden jutsu.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think this stuff would be allowed in the Chunin exams?
Oh my god.
Because, like, the other forbidden jutsu was.
Yeah, maybe. Like, yeah, there's no rules against, like, killing your opponent in the Chunin exams, so, like, maybe there's no rule against, like, killing somebody else to do your jutsu.
Yeah, right?
Like, if you could get somebody... I think maybe you get disqualified if you, like, try to involve somebody else in that way.
Maybe, and there's probably rules against killing, like, opponents outside the ring.
Yeah.
But what if it's not an opponent?
What if you just, like... What if you're, like, carrying around, like, a big box on your back and there's, like, secretly, like an alive person in there? And nobody knows that, like... Like, everyone's like wondering what's in the box. It's like, surprise! In the box is the first Hokage. Which maybe also gets you disqualified if the first Hokage is the one winning the fight. I don't know. There's too many unknowns here.
Yeah, but also if you're like capable of pulling it off, I think that merits being a Chunin at least.
Mm-hmm. And like summoning is probably allowed, right? Like Naruto doesn't like pull out any toads when he's fighting Neji, but like given that that's the thing that like Jiraiya was teaching him, I assume that doesn't go against the rules. So like maybe it's fine actually.
No, Jiraiya had no idea Naruto was going to the Chunin exams.
Oh yeah. But is that true?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, like, something like a big toad or whatever is like still basically a person. So like, Yeah. Inconclusive, but like, I bet they'd allow it.
Okay. All right. Reaper Death Seal is probably a bad call for the Chunin exams.
Yeah, no, don't do that one just because then. I don't think like. I mean, like, it's what they were talking about when like Shikamaru was doing his match in the finals about how like it's important to be able to like value your own life and make judgment calls based on that, right? And so even if you win your match, if you do it at the cost of your own life, I mean, first of all, you're dead. Second, like clearly not like showing the judgment required to be a Chunin, so like out on 2 counts. But like it's probably allowed.
Yeah, probably.
But anyway, the Third Hokage is like shocked to see that like Orochimaru's subordinates were like used to summon first and second Hokage, and it's like talking about how like it's basically like disgraceful to treat your subordinates like that, right? And like I'm not gonna say it's a good thing to do, right? But I think the fundamental difference between like using like children as summoning materials to help you win a fight and like sending 12-year-olds to a battlefield is like mostly one of abstraction.
Yeah.
Like, if you have asked, like, Hiruzen, Sarutobi, and Orochimaru to each look after a group of kids, like, I guess Hiruzen's probably going to do better at it as long as one of them isn't secretly evil and gay. But, like, I think the gulf is, like, maybe not quite so broad as...
However...
Uh-huh.
If all of them are secretly evil and gay, Orochimaru's team is going to do way better.
We've gathered 6 secretly evil and gay children for the sake of this competition, and
yeah, I mean, like it's why you and I are still good.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's why Kabuto sticks around.
Yeah, okay, this is really coming together for me.
Yeah,
so here's an Orochimaru get like locked in their fucking game of like soul tug of war.
Yeah,
we cut away to Jiraiya showing up. I gotta say, when Jiraiya's not doing his like horny guy bits, when he's not being like a sex pest, he's just a delight. I love this guy.
Yeah, he's just a fun dude.
Just like falls out of the sky on a big toad, starts being like a dramatic kabuki performer asshole, like starts insulting Ibiki.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
Jiraiya's pretty alright.
Jiraiya's pretty alright, fundamentally. I think that I hope I can continue feeling this way about him, because I've in past meetings of Naruto I've definitely graded against him, because of how bad his sex pest bits are.
Yep.
But like as a guy outside of that, there's something there probably. There's been something there so far, and I hope there's more of that as we go forward.
Yeah, fingers crossed. You ready to move on?
I'm ready to move on.
Orochimaru asks why Hiruzen didn't avoid his blade, and Hiruzen admits that he's dead anyway after casting the Reaper Death Seal. Orochimaru finds himself unable to use jutsu to escape and identifies this as the jutsu that sealed the Nine-Tailed Fox 12 years ago. The Reaper pulls at Orochimaru's soul a little more, but Orochimaru wiggles the sword around to try and kill Hiruzen faster than the seal can take effect. Sasuke catches up to Kankuro, but Temari isn't far behind. Pakun can tell Sasuke's caught up to the Sand Ninja, but he also smells something else, something inhuman and extremely numerous heading that way too. Temari and Kankuro switch roles, but before the fight starts, Shino arrives and calls dibs on Kankuro.
So yeah, Hiruzen is like tugging Orochimaru's soul out, and he's like laying out the stakes of like getting sealed in the Reaper Death Seal Jutsu, which like in his words mean that you're like stuck in there forever, and like fucking like what he is like trying to condemn Orochimaru to is like eternal intermingled soul conflict with his dad that hates him, which like terrible fucking fate.
Can I say something?
You can say whatever you want. This is our podcast.
Yeah, it's our podcast. This is another instance of the whole tailed beast Jinchuriki thing, like, not being well established. In that it is like this very specific, like, soul binding jutsu that only Naruto's dad figured out. That, like, is the reason that Naruto is a special case and has the, like, nine-tailed fox, like, bound to his soul. Right?
Right. And then, like, later we're going to learn about, like, a cultural practice of, like, stealing 9 different guys in people's souls.
Yeah.
So, like, maybe Minato just has, like, a kind of, like, bad method of doing it, or, like, everybody else's method is, like, way fucking worse. We just don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, and, like, the thing about it, though, is that, like, it, like, removes the unique way in which Naruto is bonded. Because, like, the way that the other people have, like, the tailed beast in them becomes the way that Naruto has the tailed beast in him too, right?
The Reaper Death Seal is, like, victim to this on multiple fronts, right? Because, like, also, like, way later, in spite of this being the thing, like, oh yeah, if you get sealed in this, you're fucking stuck in there forever. Your soul's just there until the end of fucking time and, like, misery. And, like, way later, Orochimaru just fucking fixes that. Just, like, summons some guys from the grave again.
Yeah, that's fine, though.
It's fine. That was years later. He had time to learn about this and learn how, like, actually, it's not a big deal. Except for the part where you die if you use it.
Yeah. That part I can buy a little bit more because it is a jutsu that, like, nobody knew about ever. Becoming something that Orochimaru is, like, actively pursuing a fix to, right? So I don't necessarily hate that, like, he figures that out.
Yeah.
Right, but, like, I don't know, the like tailed beast part just makes it, like, I don't know, I just feel like it files away a lot of, like, character from, like, Naruto's whole situation.
I can totally agree to that, right? Like, I think that I think that right now, like, the stuff that Gaara has going on, right, is, like, presented pretty differently from what Naruto has going on, and, like, ultimately they're just kind of be, like, merged into being, like, basically the same thing.
Yeah, totally. But, I mean, like, there's still... We still have, like, so much time until we, like, actually learn how exactly that ends up, like, culminating. And I'm sure we'll have, like, a lot more, like, informed things to say about it then.
Yeah, for sure. Like, it is definitely something to have our eyes on. The ways in which Naruto, like, just sort of, like, changes the rules of itself as it goes are definitely of interest.
Yeah, totally.
So Sasuke catches up to Kankuro, and, like, this is a scene that becomes, like, kind of awkward because of the way in which, like, you expanded it out and tried to give Temari more of a role, right? Because it's this moment where, like, Sasuke catches up to Kankuro, and, like, Temari also shows back up again.
Yeah, right? Kankuro's just like, Temari, why didn't you die? And she's just like, yeah, I don't know, no reason, I guess.
Yeah, and they're just kind of... And so it sort of, like, gives the impression, like, okay, they're both, like, trying to catch up with, like, Kankuro again, and I guess both avoiding each other. Which, like, I mean, makes sense for Sasuke and a little less for Temari.
Yeah. I mean, it would have been a lot more fun if, like, the way that Sasuke showed up was, like, hopping through the tree and then a fucking wind scythe whizzes past.
Right, like, if Temari was, like, still out of his fucking tail, and, like, he just had enough of a lead that, like, she couldn't head him off.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would definitely make it be, like, a little less of, like, a kind of silly-seeming thing.
Yeah.
You know, so, Sasuke catches up. Kankuro's like, okay, fine, it's my turn to stall him. Hands Gaara over to Temari. Then Shino shows up, and I kind of love how much of, like, bros Shino and Sasuke are. This is, like, a relationship that, like, basically never comes up again, as far as I know. But it's kind of amazing.
It's so fun. Like, I get the impression that these two people are both, like, the guy in class that doesn't fucking talk to anybody.
Right. And, like, every once in a while they sort of, like, catch eyes from across the room and, like, nod.
Right.
Like, yeah, we're like, the cool, confident ones on our team who, like, can get shit done. It's beautiful that they have this, like, little interaction here, right? Like, Shino's like, hey, Sasuke, go ahead. I'll finish this up in 10 minutes and catch up to you. And Sasuke's like, hey, in 10 minutes I've already taken care of Gaara, so you better hurry up if you want to help me out. It's just kind of beautiful. It's this wonderful little glimpse into a dynamic that just doesn't really, like, come back around because, like, there's basically never an opportunity for Sasuke and Shino to be in the same place again.
But, I mean, that's how it goes. They spent so much time thinking about what it would be like when they finally have something to say to each other, and it turns out it's, like, not a whole lot, but it's, like, pretty cool.
Uh-huh.
And, like, sometimes that's enough.
Well, that's enough. They have, like, an understanding.
Yeah.
I also love that Kankuro is, like, kind of shitty at trash-talking in this scene, right? Like, Sasuke and Shino do the thing of, like, yeah, we're gonna like, take care of each of our opponents here in 10 minutes. And, like, Kankuro's, like, retort is basically like, yeah, if you defeat me, then you'll have to fight a really scary guy instead. Also, it's like another funny expression, the way that Kankuro is both like kind of like annoyed by Gaara a lot of the time, and also like has this like weird sense of pride in his like little murder brother.
It's so good. I like Kankuro a lot.
He's great.
He's a little piece of shit, but he's my little piece of shit.
That's the spirit.
Yeah.
I think that's basically what I had to say about this episode. If you're good to move on to the next one.
Yeah, okay. Episode 74, Astonishing Truth. Gaara's identity emerges. Paku notices the fight about to happen and has the kids divert course to avoid any crossfire. Gaara starts to wake up, and Temari stops to tend to his wound, but Gaara slaps her away, because Sasuke's here. Kankuro and Shino start their fight. Gaara starts to transform and declares Sasuke to be his prey. Kankuro keeps trying to hit Shino with poison knives.
Right, so at the start of this episode, we get a little bit more with like Naruto and Sakura and Paku, they're just kind of like here to provide the comedic relief that we're not getting elsewhere in the... Paku says they need to like stop to avoid a fight, and Naruto runs like headfirst into a tree. Like Naruto is like, very averse to this, he doesn't want to like go any slower, everybody's just like kind of like explaining to him like, no, this is the best thing to do. But I also like kind of like to imagine that like Naruto is just like, man, like he's kept hearing Paku talk about how there's like some weird inhuman person like chasing after them. He just like I kind of want to imagine Naruto just like wants to know what the fuck is up with that.
Yeah.
Even if it's actually just a guy he knows.
Yeah, it's just Shino and his many, many bugs. But like, I'd want to find out too.
Yeah, I mean, like Paku's like. Paku is like he keeps like expressing it in a way that is like, what is this mysterious thing happening? Even though the show is like very like explicit, like yeah,
Yeah.
Like speaking of things that the show has like tried to play up as like a mystery, why is this episode called this? We don't learn anything new about Gaara in this episode.
Like, I guess this is the first time we see his like full like half transformed.
Right. But, like, there's a bit where, like, Sasuke catches up to him and he's like, I'm going to use my Sharingan to determine who you really are. And it's like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
It's Gaara.
It's just Gaara.
Like, anyway, Temari, like, is running away, like, stops on a branch for a little bit because, like, Gaara's kind of, like, freaking out. She pulls out some sort of, like, something that she's going to try to use to call him Gaara. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but,
I read that as like a medicine thing to tend to the wounds that never got addressed.
Oh, that could be it. I thought it was like a concoction of like calm Gaara down that they have on hand just in case, but like that actually makes sense. Remember, like she's like trying to like keep the situation under control, and then like Gaara sees that Sasuke is there and like immediately just punches Temari off to the side and like just completely like jobbing her out of the arc horribly. She's never recovered from this.
She just fucking Gaara just punched Temari straight out of the show.
Like Gaara's not even like a fucking punching guy, really. He just uses his like weak baby arms to like punch her into a tree so hard that she like stops being in the arc. The other thing I want to like shout out like in this like part of the scene is like when Sasuke catches up to them in the manga, he says, "I don't know what you sand fellas are plotting," and I am just so endlessly charmed by the idea of Sasuke being a guy who says fellas.
I want Sasuke to be a cowboy.
Oh my god. Enough of this ninja shit. I'm branching out.
Sasuke should have a cowboy hat with the funny, like, strike through.
Holy shit. I bet somebody's drawn that before.
Maybe.
I bet somebody's drawn, like, Naruto Cowboy AU.
I'll like, if it's posted on Twitter, I'll like retweet a bunch like ominously before this episode comes out.
That's beautiful. We cut back to Conqueror's fight with Shino, right? And Kankuro starts off looking like kind of weak in this one, I gotta say. He's just kind of having Crow like flail around and like stab at Shino's feet. Like I don't really know if that's the way to go about it.
Yeah, right? Like, what's the point of having a puppet if all you can do with it is, like, slowly stab?
Right, and also, like, if you're trying to stab at somebody, I feel like you should plan your stab trajectory such that you are, like, minimizing the risk of sticking your knife into, like, a tree branch.
Yeah, you want to make sure that, like, the stab vector, like, intersects with their body and not, like, a huge tree branch that's gonna get stuck.
Mm-hmm. Like, especially if you can have your puppet just, like, sort of, like, fly all over the place however you want on, like, magic puppet strings.
Yeah.
The other thing is that, like, when he, like, stabs a branch for the first time, a ridiculous amount of poison just goes fucking pouring out of the blade. And it's like, come on, man, that is so inefficient. What are you doing here? You're wasting so much fucking poison.
You gotta be a little bit more careful with your poison, bro. Okay, and, like, first off, if you're subtle with the with the fucking poison use, one, you don't waste fucking poison, and two, you can't just, like, see that it's, like, seeping poison.
Uh-huh.
So, you know, maybe he's not, like, too worried about it, and he doesn't mind getting a nick. Well, joke's on you that Nick was poisoned.
Mm-hmm. Maybe, like, Crow is kind of an old puppet, so, like, all the, like, poison applying mechanisms are, like, kind of worn down and, like, not super precise. They're just, like, spilling all over the place these days. And, like, Conqueror doesn't know how to, like, fix it without making it worse. He's got a sad life.
You can't be a puppet user without having, like, at least a decent idea of how to maintain your puppet. Jesus Christ. Like, I'm not a great puppet user, right? Like, we'll probably talk about that.
Uh-huh.
But, like, I know how my shit works. Like, I can fix it.
Right, but, like, Conqueror didn't fucking make his own puppets, right? Like, he was using Sasori's old shit is something we learn later.
Yeah, like, I know Kankuro did not make his own puppets, but, like, you still gotta, like...
Mm-hmm. He could stand to, like, learn a little bit better how to not spill your poison all over the goddamn place.
Yeah, you know, like, it's not like you fucking blame him. Like, making puppets that, like, work for, like, you know, this kind of thing is, like, really difficult, actually. You know, like, I mean, it's less hard if you're not worried too much about making them look like a person.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, you know, there's still a lot of, like, really tight tolerances if you want to make the joints, you know, like, move smoothly. It's, like, a whole thing.
The whole thing.
But, like, I don't know. Kankuro is just sloppy here.
Yeah, not his best work, gotta say. And, like, he's been holding back this whole fucking time. Like, saving up his energy for this. And, like, it's not a great matchup for him, but, like, come on, man.
Yeah. Frankly, he'd be doing better if he just, like, used his own knife.
You gotta plan, like, every fucking fight like it's the one fight you get. You can't just waste time like this shit.
Yeah. I mean, and we double back to fucking, like, the fucking chakra economy of a ninja fight, right? Like, people are always like, oh, I don't want to use my big attack, it'll waste too much chakra. Well, if you don't use your big attack, you're gonna waste more, so, like...
We're pro big attacks here. We love big attacks.
Yeah. There are all kinds of circumstances that can lead to, like, oh, I can't use my big attack yet. You know, and, like, that's fine. Like, it is okay if, like, the struggle you are having is, like, oh, there's some, like, obstacle in my way or some, like, technique that the enemy is using that'll make my, like, big attack not work.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to overcome that first. But, like, if your big attack can just work, use the big attack.
So, like, a specific big attack that Conqueror has that you're, like, referring to here? Or is this just general?
Just general. This kid doesn't have a big attack.
Yeah. He's got, like, a bunch of small attacks. It seems like...
He's kind of got one. We'll mention it in the next one.
Anyway, moving on from Conqueror for a bit, we cut back to Gaara and Sasuke. Gaara is like, Sasuke, you're like me, I need to kill you. Which I think is interesting, right? I think that, like, you know, like, earlier in the arc we had Naruto sort of, like, developing his ability to, like, identify when other people have been through similar shit as him, in, like, the hospital room with Gaara. And, like, I like that Gaara has, like Gaara's, like, ability to understand people is, like, very limited because, like, he and Sasuke don't actually have that much in common other than, like, wanting to kill abstractly, right? we see the rest of the scene where he like meets Sasuke while he's training, and Gaara's basically like, I see that you want to kill. That must mean we're the same kind of guy, and just like wanders off.
Really funny interaction.
Yeah, very, very funny interaction.
But yeah, Gaara's just like, I don't think Gaara's in a good place right now.
No, probably not. That's okay. He'll get there. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, I look forward to it. Do we want to go ahead and move on to the next segment?
I'm good to move on.
Okay. Shino evades Kankuro's attacks using a bug clone and almost gets him with a sucker punch from behind. Kankuro has a poison smoke bomb cannon in his puppet, apparently, and Shino gets caught in it. Iruka keeps leading the kids to safety, and as Konohamaru steps to look over the burning village, the great stone face of the Third Hokage cracks above them. Meanwhile, Orochimaru and Hiruzen's soul struggle is still ongoing, and Gaara has a big mutant sand arm and a scary face. Kankuro is confident Shino is done for now that he's incapacitated from poison, and moves in for the kill, but it's just another bug clone. And with that, Crow is just too full of bugs to move. And Shino faked that earlier punch to plant a bug on Kankuro so the rest of the swarm could find him and get his ass. Shino's still poisoned though, so Sasuke isn't getting any help.
Shit, I just remembered something else I wanted to say about Kankuro, like earlier when we were doing our like informal like Chunin Exam proctor shit, because obviously these guys didn't get to have their fight evaluated professionally.
Yeah.
He's gotta fucking cut out waving Crow's arms all over the place and making that clattering noise.
Yeah, honestly, like, marks off.
Like, I get that you think it looks cool, but like it is, you're not doing yourself any favors by making sure people know exactly where your puppet is all the time.
Yeah. I mean, it is a cool sound.
It is a pretty cool sound. Like, I can't fully fault him for that, but like, you gotta know when the time for your cool sound is. But yeah, I think that like, especially in comparison to like the big fight from like the last episode we watched last week, this episode is much more modest, but there's some like good looking stuff in here. I really like whenever Shino does the bug clones, right? Like I love when like the knives hit Shino at the start of this part of the episode, and like he just sort of like starts sagging and like collapses into a swarm of bugs. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like he's like an insect-filled balloon that's just deflating.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
Shino almost like fucking punches Kankuro, and then he starts like lecturing at him about like how he knows that puppet users aren't shit, which like,
like, yeah, but like rude.
I mean, he's talking about how like puppet users don't have good close quarters combat skills, so like, you've gotta.
Yeah, I always catch people off guard with that.
Just constantly.
I'm also not a great puppet user, so like.
It's okay. Everybody's got their own strengths. I like that. Like a Kankuro sort of like sits and listens to this, and he's like, maybe you know that shit about like how puppet users generally go, but do you know this? I've got a fucking gun in my puppet's arm. He like shoots a big poison bomb at him.
Yeah.
Which like, I guess Shino does get got by this, so like I guess it's a solid counter argument.
Hey, counter argument.
Mm-hmm.
If that was just like a poison smoke grenade that like a guy threw out of his like pocket, same shit.
Yeah. Maybe you can't throw it as far. I mean, I guess it doesn't actually go that far in this fight, so like Kankuro is not becoming a Chunin, I think is what we're getting at here.
Yeah, like he just didn't bring a puppet with very strong weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like a big thing of being a puppet user.
Yeah, Crow seems like a real like quantity over quality kind of puppet, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like Kankuro's got his line later in this episode about how like every compartment of Crow's body has like a weapon in it, but like most of those seem to be poison knives.
Yeah, most of those seem to be poison knives that fly around slower than a thrown kunai. So like.
He's got to fucking tighten up his act. We cut back to the village for a little bit, right? Iruka's like leading the evacuation of the children. They are walking under the like Hokage faces as the like Third Hokage's like face sculpture starts cracking. And like I understand that they are in this location for the sake of that scene and for the sake of the drama of this scene of like them seeing this like very ominous sign. But I have to say, if I was choosing an evacuation route, like a single staircase bolted to the side of a cliff, like facing out directly towards the village, bad. Wouldn't go for that one. Like the tunnels seemed fine, right? Like they seemed like they're far enough away from a lot of shit, and like they didn't seem like they were about to collapse or anything, even as a bunch of like shit was going down. I don't know about this staircase.
Yeah, that's just like one like tail swipe from a giant snake away from like killing 40 children, which frankly I'm opposed to.
Yeah, I think killing 40 children is bad. We've got some strong moral stances here.
And like that scene could have happened like looking out over the village with like the stone monument like on the other side of the village from you.
Mm-hmm.
You know the big monument that you can see from everywhere in the village.
Yeah.
It
goes fine though. Fortunately, none of these children like die through like a staircase failure.
Yeah, or snake
event. Speaking of snake events, we like briefly check in on Orochimaru. There's not a ton of progression here, other than like
He just keeps wiggling that sword.
keeps wiggling that sword. Like it seems like maybe Hiruzen is like starting to fail. Orochimaru is like, you fucking idiot, you're too old to win. Should have killed me 10 years ago, dumbass.
I fucking love Orochimaru.
Orochimaru is so good.
But like, yeah, like you said, not a whole lot is going on there. And the Shino fight.
Yeah, it sort of keeps going on. We sort of reach the inevitable conclusion of this fight from moment one, which is that Shino puts too many bugs in Crow for Crow to be able to move much, right?
Yep.
Shino does this like weird move in this part of the fight where he's like hanging on the underside of a branch with like a bug rope.
Yeah.
I don't know why he does the bug rope, but like, I guess if you could make a bug rope, you might as well. That's unclear anyway. He's like, he's like standing, he's like, yeah, I've disabled your puppet. He's sending the bugs down Konkuro's puppet strings. Konkuro like severs them and like quickly reattaches them to the head and like sends the head flying back around towards Shino. But then like, Shino has his bugs separate Konkuro's puppet strings. And like, I kind of have to call bullshit on this a little bit, right? I feel like if there is like a poison spike flying at you very fast and you sever the strings that it's attached to,
like there's still like inertia, right?
It doesn't like stop moving unless I guess his bugs all start pulling really hard.
It would have been cool if it kept flying and he was just another bug clone.
Like I get that the dramatic thing is like, oh, it stops like inches from like Shino's space and like splashes poison near him, but like I have questions.
Yeah.
I think I want to point out here is like, you know, we've been kind of shit talking Konkuro's puppet use here, but I do really like how fucked up it looks when it like opens up for the face spike, where it's got the mouth like opening up past the eyes and it's just like unfolding like a bunch of different ways to like let the big poison spike extend outwards. I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. But again, it's not like he built the fucking puppet.
No points for Konkuro here. I had like completely forgotten how much of a fight there actually was between Shino and Konkuro here.
Mm-hmm.
And like I guess maybe that's because it's not actually that like it still doesn't really amount to Konkuro doing much other than like getting Shino with like enough poison to like make him fall asleep in the woods.
Yeah, which, you know, I mean that's not nothing.
That's not nothing. I mean, he like succeeded in his goal to like keep the guy from like interfering with Gaara. So like, you know, I guess we have to hand it to him just a little bit.
Yeah, like I'll still like when we meet up again after we take the hidden leaf. Like, well, I'll give him a pat on the back, tell him he did all right.
Yeah. I feel like we've been plenty nice to Konkuro about his role in the show up until now. Like, we've been very positive on it, just when he's not fighting.
Yeah. Right? You know, like, I'll show up, I'll be like, hey, cuz, we're cousins, by the way. I'll be like, hey, cuz, do you want, like, help?
You know, so Shino's, like, collapsing in the woods, and he's like, damn, I'm not gonna be able to go help Sasuke. Sasuke is off with Gaara, who's, like, going full fucked up monster mode, and Sasuke's like, shit, it's been 10 minutes and I haven't won. And maybe this is why they don't actually ever talk again. Like they had this one beautiful bro promise, and like it immediately fell apart. And they just decided it's like, no, it wasn't meant to be. We could never make this work.
There's another future out there where they're just like husbands.
Yeah, and like everything goes so much more straightforwardly.
Yeah, right. Like Shino shows up like 9.5 minutes later, and then together they both kick Gaara's ass, right? And then they make out. Yeah. And just like, you know, the whole world is different.
Yeah, like Naruto like shows up a little bit later. He's like kind of bummed out about seeing Sasuke making out with somebody else. So he's just like goes over to talk to Gaara. He's like, hey, what's going on? You want somebody to talk to? And just like kind of sitting there, both sort of sad for their different reasons.
Oh my god.
You know, they come to a beautiful understanding,
which blossoms into a beautiful relationship.
Of course. I'm basically already on that train, just not in this universe.
Right. God, is that the podcast?
I think that's the podcast.
Okay, cool. What episodes are we watching next week?
Next week, we are watching episodes 75, 76, and 77.
Hey, and if you don't want to wait, and you're listening to this on the main feed, check out our Patreon. And you get access to all of our episodes up to a week early. That means you can listen to it probably like right now, or tomorrow, probably. I usually upload them a day after the episodes go up on the main feed. But like, $3 a month, patreon.com/Konoha Crush. And we just recorded the other day our July episode of Narukai Uzumaki, where we talked about Ascendance of a Bookworm. So if you want to check that out, like, you know, highly recommend it. I think we had like a good discussion there. That's, you know, the same Patreon, patreon.com/Konoha Crush. That's $5 a month for the bonus content. And
yeah, so shout out to our Jonin tier Patreons, Maple and Izzy, featured Jinchuriki of the Six-Tailed Beast. Thanks for the support.
Yeah, thank you. Any images we talk about during the show will be on our Twitter, at Konoha Crush, all one word, Konoha Crush. I've been streaming on Twitch lately, twitch.tv/Reziart, Reziart. Art fight's going on, so mostly I've been doing a lot of attacks for that. If you don't know what art fight is, it's just an excuse to get people to draw your OC, basically. And I've been drawing other people's OCs, so hey, stop by. And if you're participating, hey, hit me up. I think that's that, basically. Do you have anything you want to shout out?
No, not really. I basically just do this podcast.
Okay. Hey, thanks for coming. And remember, there's no such thing as filler.